Live now?
Yeah.
Great.
We live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Comic Book Lab 101. I have to my right Austin Price, to my left
Dan Rogers.
and my other left.
Barry Chrysanthus.
And you all know me as B. Decky. Anyway, so today we're going to do what I said before. We're putting 4 characters in a survival mode today. We have to my right Green Arrow, to my left
Captain America.
my other left.
Hawkeye.
And then myself, well, obviously it's all over my shirt, Batman, and I am from occasion and Batman. Anyway, so we're going to put these characters into a scenario. We're only going to go 2 engaged characters at a time. And those 2 characters represented by their persons. The other persons not involved will vote to see who would win in that case. But we're going to hear why and wherefores as we go on. So hopefully we'll enjoy this. It's our first go around, looking for some input from all our faithful followers. And with that said, I am dealing up the character cards now, and we are going to put Green Arrow against Hawkeye. What are the chances? So round 1, Hawkeye versus Green Arrow. So that's Hawkeye. That's Green Arrow. I'm sure you all know who that is, but we'll start. So where are they gonna start the fight, Dan?
Say the outskirts of a city. You know, they're the first fight, so it kind of starts on the outside.
We're talking about the country?
No,
Or there's
outskirts
some-
of the city, like suburbs.
Suburbs.
So we're out in the
Okay.
open.
Middle.
Okay.
You know, white picket fence, the whole 9. So
Okay.
So we're in like a little
in Perry
neighborhood-
Hall.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your local Perry Hall.
Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay,
Right.
so we had a couple categories. We had strength, ability, defense, and the X factor. So I'm going to say, as far as ability, so they're at the outskirts of a city.
Yep.
Who is or who has the most ability? You both can shoot arrows, right? You start, Austin.
Well, Oliver McQueen, Green Arrow. He beats Hawkeye because he's a billionaire. Hands down.
All right.
That's it.
So it's all about the cash, Barry.
That's
What do you
it.
got?
Well, I worked at a circus as a child. I don't have a lot of money.
Somebody
No,
did
I would
his
say-
research.
Right.
I would say if we're fighting outside, I mean, he's a high level acrobat. He can flip around, jump off sides of buildings. I might give him the slight edge. And I would use any sort of like arrow that would try to slow someone down or incapacitate them, maybe. Trying to
Okay.
think.
Oh, I was using that too.
But do you think with any you said any arrow that would work? I mean, to be honest, and we'd have to be shooting arrows at each other at the same time for it to even, because we would only be hitting the arrows at each other.
Yeah, they might cancel each other out.
Yeah, they would cancel each other out. I mean, we do have our trick arrows. I mean, Captain America doesn't have any arrows.
Okay, he's in the heavy game.
Green Arrow has so many.
And the giant shield comes flying and bats him on the back of the head for
Yes.
being a jerk.
I did read that his bow, the pullback is like 250 pounds or something.
Right.
Is that similar
On
to-
Hawkeyes?
Yeah, like it's a. I don't know if that affects like
The-
force of the
Bringing
bows.
up the big numbers.
That
Look
is-
out.
that is
Oh,
pretty good, yeah.
250
just
pounds.
to pull it back.
Which means that if Hawkeye was made of titanium, he might be in trouble, but it really doesn't matter any.
I'm
Yeah.
listening to these
The
guys.
only thing I would say is that Hawkeye would be taking a long time to be pulling that 250-pound arrow
He's
back.
pretty quick.
I mean, what? I mean, Green Arrow shoots one arrow every 2.5 seconds.
Oh,
I mean, so that's
I
even
don't know
Black.
the I don't know the stats.
Even
on my
Black
guy,
Canary said that she saw Green Arrow shoot 39 arrows in 1 minute. So, I mean, however many arrows Hawkeye can shell out, Green Arrow is definitely shooting more arrows, and he has the power to ricochet those arrows as well. So if you're shooting one, you could shoot one at that arrow and then ricochet another
That's
arrow to against Hawkeye.
But Hawkeye ricochets arrows off of his shield all the time as well. So they both. I think the arrows just cancel out everything.
Hawkeye's playing on a couch playing video games somewhere. He's not
He's
even
hiding with his wife.
he's
in
not
the
even
mountains
worried
somewhere.
about that. You know, I think the main thing is that the arrows we would both be
Yeah.
spot on level.
Okay.
The main ability would be hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
Okay.
So I'd have to avoid that at all costs. Fighting
What?
you hand to hand.
Hand-to-hand combat?
Yeah.
Why? Because who taught you?
Captain America.
Oh. Okay. That's good. Well, see, the nice thing about Green Arrow is that he knows judo, kickboxing, karate. He even spent money so the best martial artists in the world trained him, and he keeps his body in full top shape all the time. So,
Hawkeye's a peak human ability too. Peak human strength.
Why do you say that?
Because he can bench press over 300 pounds, twice his body weight. I think it was
Twice his body.
twice his body
Yeah.
weight. Yeah.
That's what I read.
I've seen.
So Hawkeye is just a little tiny guy with 150 weighing 150 pounds.
That's true.
Benching 300. I mean, that's fine. I mean, but I mean, you know, Green Arrow is just about 6 foot, 195, all muscle. You know, he may not be able to be benching 300 pounds,
Yeah. Well,
but he is going to be pushing the limits of Hawkeye being able to keep up with him.
Right. Well, I think this round the open, there's not going to be too much hand to hand because you can always just flip away, jump off of buildings and stuff. What do you guys think?
So you're saying it would just be a cat and mouse?
I think it would end in a draw.
You think it would end in a draw?
Unless we were in an enclosed space. Or
It
something.
would have to end up in a closed space, okay? Because no matter what, if I would be chasing you to shoot arrows,
Yeah.
shooting arrows, I would eventually catch up with you and take you down.
Who's faster?
You're sweating.
I
Are
told
you okay?
that. It's my soda.
My
soda.
it's your soda. Soda makes you sweat, huh?
It does. Yeah. This light's a little warm.
All right. So, Dan, have they come to any conclusion yet? Or should we continue to hear them?
I've kind of come to a conclusion so far between the two, but I'm all about hearing more. But
Okay.
do you guys really have anything beyond what you've said so far?
Not really. Just the acrobatic part about dodging.
So he can.
He's better
swing
than
around
Olympic
and
gold
play.
medalist acrobats.
Huh.
That's all I got.
Okay.
So you're basing your character saying for the most part they're equal, but your character has a little bit better
Like
agility and acrobatic skills compared to Green Arrow. And Green Arrow, you're saying that you're again also green, that fairly equal in a lot of categories, but your guy has cash.
Acrobatics and well,
He's a billionaire.
acrobatics. I mean, Green Arrow has shown that he uses acrobatics as well. Maybe he didn't grow up in a circus, but his house was pretty crazy growing up. But he has used acrobats several times in fighting to dodge enemy kills and enemy fire. So again, I think it's par to par with that, with Hawkeye. I mean, the main thing is going up against each other in hand-to-hand combat. And hands down, Green Arrow has spent the money, he spent the time, the research, and he keeps himself in shape to really be able to beat Hawkeye in a one-on-one fight in hand-to-hand combat. That's what I think. I mean, tell me something I don't know.
I have my decision, but
Okay.
how are you?
So, Barry, if he, I mean, how would you defeat him? You've told us how you would avoid him, but how would you beat him?
Well, if the arrows are going to cancel each other out, he also has the ability to turn other things into weapons. Almost anything. So I would think he would try to use that to his advantage. If he can't use arrows and they're just canceling each other out, I would think he would try to think of a way to use the stuff around him in the battlefield.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
all I got.
Well, I mean, if you said you're using things in there, the arrows would cancel themselves out, but I think that I could, since you're, somersaulting away because you're very good at acrobatics.
Clearly, I've never seen you, right?
Yeah. I think Green Arrow would set up a trap for Hawkeye. And shooting it, and you would try to shoot different things, but I mean, come on, Green Arrow shot a drop of water coming out of a faucet. Whatever tool you throw at me, I'm going to be able to shoot down. So it's not going to be about tools. So if you are trying to fire things at me and stuff, that's just not going to take down Green Arrow. And Green Arrow is going to use that to his ability to force you to go in a direction that he wants you to go to lay it, because he's already laid a trap for you.
Okay. You got enough?
That's
Any
all
of
I
the
got.
I have a-
That's all you guys. Okay, that's a good first round. There you
Yep.
go, gentlemen. Very nicely
Thank
done.
you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. All right. So, Dan, let's hear your story, and then I'll tell you mine.
I think for the most part they are equally matched, and you guys pretty much corroborated that. Arrows, it could go either way if they're in a shootout. They use a variety of different types of arrows. They got very similar skills. I don't think that would be the deciding factor. I think it would come down to hand-to-hand combat. And yes, Hawkeye is a little bit more agile, but Green Arrow focused more heavily on the hand-to-hand combat portion of it and was just a little more skilled overall. So I think it would give him a slight edge in that department, and I would have to give my point to Green Arrow based on the hand-to-hand part. The arrows, I think, is down the middle.
Okay. So Dan says 1 point. Did you get that, MC? 1 point to Green Arrow. So I'm scanning through because I'm trying to think how I'm going to beat the rest of these guys. And one thing stood out for me was the intelligence. Green Arrow is obviously more intelligent than Hawkeye. So it's a matter of thinking outside the box in this scenario, because you're going to run out of arrows. That's the thing. You could shoot all day long, but you only have but so many. The strength is par. Actually, they're actually about the same strength.
You know you have Batman up, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
Hey.
Dan, I
just-
wouldn't get by in life without you looking over my shoulder, brother. It's just like at work.
Uh-huh.
And then, but the speed, so you got intelligence and speed. And in my opinion, speed kills. So in this case, so I do think that speed is to Green Arrow's advantage as well. But I will say something about Hawkeye is a trained spy, whereas Green Arrow is not. So I guess the thing about Hawkeye also is with the MCU around, he is evolving. But the early on Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, I don't know. I don't know if that little bit of training, because we are talking about a scenario that is not terribly outside of Green Arrow's wheelhouse. If you told me they were in an actual war or battle, maybe, but I'm gonna give my point to Green Arrow as well. Did you get that, MC? 2 for Green Arrow. All right. So one of you.
Okay, I knew how it was going to end.
Okay. So instead of picking again, we're just going to start off this battle, and then you two can take a break from talking. So let me take a sip, because by the time I speak again, it'll be around 6:30. So
We're in his territory
why
here.
is that?
We're in
because
your
we all know
territory.
Dan has done his studying,
Yes, I have.
and we're probably both looking at the same thing. And I'm just glad that we found the same material.
Yep. Oh, you think this is my only material?
No, I said I'm just glad we found the same material, because I can continue to refer back to this.
Oh, okay.
All right, Barry. So where's the battle take place in this
Between
case?
Captain America and Batman.
Yeah. So if this big arena has multiple settings, what is the setting that we engage?
Let's put you guys in a building,
In a building.
What kind of
Yeah,
building?
what kind
like a
of building?
warehouse.
A warehouse.
Oh, man.
Abandoned.
Oh, was that bad for it? It's got stuff in it.
It's got stuff in it.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
completely empty.
All right. So like a warehouse, like like it was when Batman took on the
Actually.
Suicide Squad in Arkham Asylum?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, cool. So at least I can also see how.
But the battle may spill through the warehouse to the outside.
Okay,
That's true.
That's not going to happen.
Oh, okay.
Captain America will be incapacitated by then. But anyway, Dan, please
Okay.
at least entertain us before there's judgment.
Okay. Well, see, we got to start off with the fact that Batman only has one superpower. The only thing he's got going for him. He's popular.
Oh,
That's it. That's it.
are we going to go point to point?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay, I disagree. He is a genius.
I'm talking popular in real life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's DC's #1 character, so he's always given a little edge just for that fact.
So how long has Batman been around?
Long time.
Okay.
A
Before Captain America, possibly?
little bit before.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Just checking.
But not
Please.
much.
Hey, just thought I'd bring that to your attention.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Please continue.
So
Nice shirt, by the way.
thank you. Yours and bad yourself.
Thank you.
So I will say Bruce Wayne is more intelligent than
Thank
Steve
you.
Rogers. I mean, that would be really futile for me to say otherwise.
Absolutely.
So
I like where this is going.
Captain America's got the above normal intelligence, but
Mhm.
not genius level by
Yeah,
any
super
stretch.
soldier by far.
But Captain America has, as you said, the super soldier, the serum in him. So out of all four of us, he's the only one that has enhanced ability beyond just a really skilled human being. He's got all the martial arts training. He's got the vibranium shield, which he is a master with, not only a marksman, but he can ricochet that thing like a pinball. And if we're in the warehouse, at first I thought the warehouse would be to my detriment because Batman is very agile, and with his gadgets and grappling hooks and all that stuff gives him a nice little edge. But I can also use all the rafters and the stuff inside to mess with them in that way as well. Captain America is faster than Batman. And one thing that he has over Batman that can really turn the tide of battle is he has more endurance. If you look at the Marvel versus DC comic cross-up, Batman and Captain America battled for 3 days. Came out as a tie. But if it had gone longer, Batman is still just human. Captain America has the edge of that super soldier serum, and he can last longer in a drawn-out fight if it comes to that. Even if fisticuffs, martial arts skills, brute strength, speed, all of that was down the middle. But you said it yourself during their discussion, speed always has the advantage, which Captain America has. He's also stronger. He's on par with the martial arts. The only thing he doesn't have over Batman is Batman's a little bit more intelligent. So Batman does have those gadgets. But again, Captain America has the shield that he can rely on and can easily absorb or deflect or counteract the gadgets. And the gadgets only so many uses before they wear out. You only have so many batarangs in your utility belt, so many shots with the grappling hook before that runs out. But the shield he can use unlimited. So that's how I'm leading off.
Okay. Daytime or nighttime, Austin?
I would say daytime.
So it's daytime.
Yeah.
Okay.
This makes it, I think that gives it a little more even playing field.
Okay. All right. So with daytime in a warehouse,
And the warehouse, of course,
and
probably
you
has
and
a
your
little
little
darkness
circle
to it.
shield is gonna
Yeah.
stop everything.
With
Okay.
your little boomerang, yeah.
Okay. So just because, do you know what's inside the utility belt? You ever investigated what's inside the utility belt?
I know some of the basics. I don't know. I'm sure there's a few little hidden gems in there that's kind of obscure.
Have you ever not seen Batman pull out something, some way, somehow, with his utility belt?
I do that with my work vehicle.
Well, then you understand. If you can do that at where you work, imagine the most intelligent man. Do you know who Superman is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I quote, Batman is the most dangerous man on earth. From Superman. Okay. So you know him. Okay. Going back to your whole thing about peak performance, even though he is at peak performance, it says Batman has the ability to function under great physical pain and resist telepathy and mind control. He is a master of disguise, multilingual, and an expert in espionage. So I'll tell you this. I don't care if it's daytime, nighttime, or in between time. You can't fight what you can't see. And Batman has everything to attack you when you least expect it. If you told me that we were in an open field and it was Captain America charging Batman with nothing else to do, there's an edge there, because then there's definite engagement hand to hand. But in this scenario, with rafters and other set traps, even if we're engaged in it, I assure you there's a trap he has set for Captain America. Okay, so you can hold your shield up, down, or around. There's nothing you can do because you can't see what this man is thinking. And that intelligence is far beyond anything Captain America. So to your point, if we engage, it says here we can go toe-to-toe. Will we, if we go toe-to-toe long? You're right. But the smartest man on the earth will not allow us to go toe-to-toe.
See, I do agree that he is a strong-willed.
Okay, so should we continue? No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can give in any moment.
Hey, now
Okay.
he's
please.
desperate for me to give in. That tells you something.
Okay.
Yes, he's very strong-willed and
Yes.
stubborn, which is probably why in the comic book where they did fight each other, he lasted for 3 days, despite being human, no super soldier serum.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also a man who is constantly challenged and has trouble defeating villains that have no superpowers. They may be slightly intelligent. They have a few little tricks and gadgets, no super strength or anything. Definitely not on levels of any of our characters or Superman or whatnot, like the Penguin and the Riddler. You know, he beats them most of the time, but he struggles with them. Superman, which you brought up, kryptonite. You give Superman enough kryptonite or, Red Star energy, any one of us in real life could probably beat him. So if you were to have Superman go toe-to-toe at his normal strength against Batman, no. That's how Batman always wins, is he's got to sap Superman's strength.
Mm-hmm.
He does have the intelligence, he knows that how to do it and has the resources to do it, but Captain America isn't weak to kryptonite or any of that stuff. He doesn't have a particular weakness. Then with the traps, it would throw Captain America off, but he could shrug off most of the stuff. He has enough strength, he could break free out of most traps or shrug it off, or that shield is virtually indestructible. So there's nothing that Batman could do to destroy the shield, which would give Batman the edge if he was able to do that. But I mean, so Thor hit the shields with his hammer, doesn't do anything. So nothing Batman has, none of his toys would help him. So Batman may be able to get a little bit of a jump off, but unless he could make the most of that right out of the gate, I think once Captain America knew he was there, 9 out of 10 times he would win. Because once the edge of that stealth is gone, he can't really get that back. And Captain America's senses are peak enough that he would be able to follow Batman to some degree, whereas a normal person would, lose sight of Batman quickly when he goes back into stealth mode or whatnot. And if he throws Batman off just a little bit, and then he can get it into a more of a, straight up brawl, that's where Captain America, in my opinion, has it hands down once it gets to that point. Just maybe more of a struggle to get to that in the warehouse setting as opposed to an open field. Okay. So it wouldn't be easy, but I think he could pull it off 9 out of 10 times.
9 out of 10 times.
Yep. Hey. Oh, and one other thing. Captain America has beaten the likes of Korvac, which is he stole the power cosmic from Galactus. Mm-hmm. So he's that powerful.
Guys just lost me.
Galactus, the big giant dude. He's
Planet Eater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's his power. This guy stole his power and had the same kind of crazy, Eternals kind of power. And Captain America beat him in a fight. It took him a while, and he got his butt kicked in the process, but he was able to beat him, not with something that took away Korvac's power. He, after a period of time, finally beat him. Batman can only beat Superman with the help of kryptonite or red star energy, things like that. He can't beat Superman at his full power. He has to find a way to take that power away just to be able to have a chance against Superman. And if I'm wrong, if there's a comic that shows Batman beats Superman at full power in a one-on-one fight, I'd love to see that, because I couldn't find that anywhere. Because I knew that would be a good comeback. That would put my Korvac argument completely to the side.
Well, Korvac is like, you know, he's like that generic brand on a food market shelf.
Mm-hmm.
So, how many other issues have you seen Korvac in?
Cheap plastic bottle vodka is just as strong as the Grey Goose.
But I'm telling you, so you probably have the power cosmic that you're speaking of there.
And he did stand toe to toe with Thanos, which is not generic brand.
What are we talking about?
He didn't beat Thanos, but he was able to, in the original Infinity Stone comics, he was able to stand toe to toe with him. And he even, for a brief moment in the movie, was able to. Just
okay, that's a whole subject for another day.
Yeah. Hey.
I could, you know, okay, that's fine if we want to do, but you know, in the suit of armor, Batman did go toe to toe with Superman to a point. But in order to even that playing field, there is the need for kryptonite. I'll grant you that. But the number one nemesis for Captain America is the Red Skull. Okay, so you want to talk about people with no powers. I mean, the Winter Soldier only has a metal arm. And he beat the snot out of Captain America in the movie, The Winter Soldier, and other areas. So Captain America's had his lunch handed to him on multiple occasions and that's why I'm telling you, if Captain America had a team and Batman had a team, I'd give it to Captain America because he's led soldiers into battle. But this is not battle. This is in a warehouse. Oh, here we are. I got to beat this guy. This guy's got to beat me. You can't fight what you can't see. Once Batman figures out that he needs that shield's gone. What do you do then? You can't block anything once that shield's gone. So dismiss the shield. I'll give you 3 to 4 minutes. So hold on to the shield as long as you can. Takes the shield out of the equation. Then again, the arsenal that Batman has. And I look at this and the power scales, the intelligence. So again, I just think the man's intelligence, his ability to not only defend and attack when necessary, because it's just like any other fighter. Even like Superman, it's all about strength. And in Captain America's situation there, it's going to be about strength. How do I get my hands on Batman? And Batman is just going to play from a distance until the time is right and then execute with all his combatant skills.
But I feel you're relying on the utility belt and the gadgets, which will run out. And Captain America has the patience and the endurance that even if he does, after a point, lose the shield, and he has to kind of take the hits a little bit because Batman would be able to dish some hits out, whether it's, sweeping in and getting a drop kick on him or using one of his gadgets. But Captain America can easily take the blows if some do connect. And once the gadgets run out, they don't respawn. He's out of gadgets. They don't last forever. At which point, then now the only thing Batman has is hand-to-hand combat. And I think Captain America is either on par or beats Batman in every category except intelligence.
So with these guys here, is this misconception?
No. So they're on par for combat.
Right.
Captain America beats him on power, beats him on durability, beats him on speed.
Right.
They're tied on strength.
Intelligence.
Intelligence is the one thing.
And so what did the rest of the world say the difference would be?
No.
60% to 40%? Not 9 out of 10?
Again, I think that's popularity coming in. Everybody loves Batman.
I don't know.
Everybody loves Batman.
You did the same research I did.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, I'm going to stick with to convince these guys next to me. You can't engage with something you can't catch. He's just going to make sure that warehouse plays to his. You can't prove to me that warehouse is going to be on Captain America's side as much as Batman's going to use it to his defense. So if you've ever seen him engage, like in that reference I made, he engaged with Croc. And Croc is just as strong or stronger than Captain America. And again, he just does what he needs to do, pulls out those knuckles, puts them on, engages, makes his punches even stronger than they are normally. And here, the power is not that far off.
No, it's not a big
so
difference.
if once Batman engages something in his arsenal, that's it. So in my opinion, again, intelligence, defense, and the ability, the X factor, being able to use that building to his advantage, Batman comes out on top 8 out of 10 times.
Even though the world says 6 out of 10. So you're just adding to it.
I am.
But you're ignoring the X factor of the super soldier serum, which gives him the enhancements over all the people that are in this party. So
he fights Bane. Bane has a super soldier.
Yeah, Bane also broke Batman's back.
That's true, but he's beat Bane how many times? How many? I mean, countless issues of him beating Bane.
I think if we don't cut in here and
Right.
stop, they're going to just keep on going.
Yeah,
I'm looking at my
on and
watch
on.
now.
So
Have you heard enough?
I
You have a
think I've
decision?
heard enough. I don't know.
Because I think at this
I mean,
point we'll be
'cause
just repeating
You're
ourselves.
both
That's
going to
cool.
just keep on repeating yourselves.
I will
you
admit
know,
though, it would be a close
Batman's
match either
smart,
way.
Batman's smart.
He has the floor, Dan.
Batman's smart. Captain America's shield. He's
Right.
got a shield. He's got a shield. I think I know which way, but Barry, I want to hear from you first. Who would you give
I
your
think-
point?
In the setting that we chose, I think Batman 6 out of 10 times. But if it was a different setting, I would say Captain America way higher.
Really?
percent. Like if it was out in a field,
Uh-huh.
I would say Captain America like 8 out of 10 times. But I think in this setting,
That
unless
you chose for them?
Captain America, well, see, I'm not on anyone's side here. I'm sorry.
It's the power of influence
Wow. There's that popularity.
Yes, it is.
There's the X factor.
I think in this thing, if he can't get the shield from him, then Batman would lose. He's got to get the shield away from him somehow.
Mhm.
That would be my goal if I was Batman. So I still think
So who would you give your point to?
I said Batman.
You
in
say
this
Batman.
scenario. Yeah.
Okay. In this scenario,
But
where
only
you-
6 out of 10 times.
Like
Only
you
6
get
out
the
of
point,
10.
but barely. It's like
Yeah.
reaching for it.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
Because I love Captain America. I would love for him to win, but I just think it'd be so close.
I listening to, and Dan has a lot of good points that he is.
Woo!
Captain America has endurance.
Oh,
He has endurance.
I feel it.
Uh-oh.
The
He has-
scale's slipping.
He has endurance. But in the scenario that
There it was. I was waiting for the butt. I was waiting for the butt.
Gotta love it.
in the scenario that was chosen, Bob made a good point. Batman made a good point. It's how big is that shield? I mean, can you ricochet a shield around your back to the back when something else is going on? Batman's gonna throw a bomb one side, Captain America's gonna block, and then Batman's just gonna come around from behind. So I believe in this round.
So Batman's
Batman has
faster than me going like this. He can go from where Logan is all the way behind me faster.
No, I'm saying that Batman's already behind you.
Oh, okay.
I love it. I love it.
It's the teleportation X
Yes.
factor.
No,
All right.
no, but Batman planted a bomb on a rafter or a side of the wall. Captain America blocks it with his shield because his shield doesn't go all the way around like a little bubble, or we could call you Bubble Boy. I
Bubble
guess.
boy. Yeah, because that makes sense.
But if you, because the way you talk about him, that's how he is.
Right,
He's
so
a
you're
Bubble
choosing
Boy. So
Batman.
I'm choosing Batman. Yes.
All right.
So
I barely chose him. By the way.
You set me up.
I'm
Bob
the
signed your
rookie.
paychecks.
I'm the rookie of the group here. I'm sorry.
All right.
Good
So-
match. Good match.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say you guys are up next.
Where's
Hawkeye
that?
versus Captain America.
Oh, great. Can I put him in this thing?
Yeah, you can.
Really? He's not gonna have it.
MC, throw me my charger.
And of course, a shout out to Logan since
It's
he's
up there in the corner.
7%.
Yeah, I'm going to lose out.
He's gonna lose because he can't. He let his iPad die.
Dan's talking about Corvette. It's like no one's seen that in like 20 years.
Not liking the bar comparison.
He told me to do my research. That's what I did. He's just mad that I actually found
All right,
something.
so, Austin, pick your what's the battleground?
You say warehouse, I quit.
Hawkeye,
I'll give
Well,
you advantage, I think.
to be honest, between Hawkeye and Captain America, I would like to see them duel it out in a zoo.
Wow, that's an interesting.
So there are a wide varieties of different aspects in the zoo. I mean, you have the ape, the parakeet section as well. That Hawkeye and Captain America could both be jumping on, but you do have open spaces, and you also have animals that may not be happy that you're shooting arrows or throwing a tiny shield
No
around.
animals will be harmed in the making of this battle. Torpedo.
All right, so I'm gonna make it nighttime.
At night.
Yeah, in the zoo at night.
This is weird.
Yes, it is.
With the candlestick.
That's right. All right, so who wants to go first?
Well, I did a lot of talking already, so I'll let you go ahead and lead off.
Well, let's see. Again, the acrobatic skills are going to come into play. And since they train together, they know each other really well. So they kind of know their instincts of how they're going to react in certain situations. So I would try to just surprise him with some of my trick arrows from different angles. I would be flipping all over the place. I mean, he can block a lot of them, clearly, with the shield. So it would have to be one of those scenarios where, with Hawkeye's precision and his aim, he can shoot arrows at you without even looking at you. So it would have to be a scenario where you're blocking an arrow here, and I get you with one from an angle that you're not expecting to incapacitate you. And then I would move forward and try to pummel. But if it comes to the point where he's up in my face and we're in hand-to-hand combat, I'm going to get waxed. So I have to avoid the closeness. We can't get stuck in a cage.
It seems to be a constant thing
Yes.
with you.
Yeah.
Look, this is the hero I was given, okay? He's not gifted in hand-to-hand combat. That's all I got right now.
Okay.
I'm first.
All right, so Dan.
Well, he already.
It's 20 minutes,
Yeah.
please.
Well, I saved all my best stuff for Batman. That would be the hardest
There's
one.
nothing left for me.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Well, let's see. You already took care of the point in hand-to-hand combat. Yeah,
We must avoid it.
yeah. I'm going to demolish you. But yeah, it's the long distance game that's going to save you.
Right.
Now, yeah, I can throw the shield, but the shield doesn't fly as fast as the arrows.
That's
When I
true.
throw the one shield, I can't just pull out another one and rapid fire them like the arrows.
That's true.
And if I miss, because you do have some agility, then I'm in trouble. So I would not throw the shield, not with any sort of distance. The shield would be the bubble. that would be the main point that I would do is I would have to essentially rush you. But I've got you hands down on the intelligence, on speed, on durability, on combat, on agility. So rushing you with the shield in front, yeah, you're probably going to fire a few trick arrows and whatnot, but Captain America has enough skill that you said he knows what Hawkeye is going to do.
Right, they both know.
They both know.
Yeah.
So most of the trick arrows I'll either know about or be able to maneuver quick enough that they would be lessened or completely rendered ineffective on me. And your only chance is some really unique arrow coming from some strange direction that Captain America probably is already either knows about or is prepared for. And then once it gets fairly close, he can either throw the shield at a short distance, or if he gets point blank with you, that's the end of the fight. And there's no arrows that you can fire that will outmatch the shield. The shield's defenses are much too strong for at least any arrows that I've seen in the comics and in the movies. So whether they're explosive or electric or whatever the case, or even just standard really strong adamantium or titanium tipped arrows, the shield will easily deflect all of that.
I have to say, you should change your name to Captain Shield, because that's all I hear. Shield.
Well, what about Gadget Man here? Inspector Gadget.
Hey, I'm not in this debate. What are you doing?
Uh-huh.
Don't be a sore loser.
Oh.
So that's it? Fire arrows?
I just have to rush him full speed.
Okay.
and rushing them.
Yep, rushing them
I
and
was
just
trying to keep
keeping
my
it on.
distance the entire time.
And if I remember from our battle, you said that Captain America taught you how to do
Hand to
hand-to-hand combat.
It trained him.
So
So I'm at a disadvantage there.
disadvantage there. Okay.
But I can use anything as a weapon. That's my X factor. So if I run out of arrows, maybe I throw a bear at you or
I'm
something.
gonna like, what is he gonna fire like a chicken, like Hot Shot style or something?
He can grab stuff and
Spider
Yeah.
monkey.
He is the MacGyver of
he used
archers,
playing
for
cards
sure.
to like incapacitate.
We could go
somebody.
old school Captain America, pull out a pistol and Indiana Jones him.
All right.
Now,
So
there's not a whole lot to throw in a zoo though. You just got animals.
If you pick up an elephant and chuck that thing, you know what?
It's not strong enough to do that.
Yeah,
You could.
quite possibly.
So I'm confused. So we're talking nighttime zoo. You're telling me he doesn't connect with any arrows, any at
Nighttime.
night.
He doesn't have to look while firing them either. He can just be
That's
running,
what I'm saying.
That's
hopping
true.
from cage to cage.
But the only arrows that are going to be any sort of problem for Captain America would not be ones coming at him, because as Corey kindly brought out, Captain Shield.
Right.
I would,
Problem
aim,
solved.
I would aim for the feet and try to
But-
wrap you up.
But in a zoo, he doesn't have too much that he can bounce the arrows off of, depending on what kind of zoo. If it has plexiglass, they're not going to bounce. It's going to break it. If it's metal bars, I know Hawkeye's precise, but he's really going to have to be precise. If it's an open pits and whatnot, there's nothing. He can't deflect it off an elephant hide, so he just take out the elephant. So it all depends. Nighttime, daytime. If he doesn't have anything to do the whole deflect and bounce like in a warehouse, then that advantage of trying to get the arrows to come at various directions, he loses that to some degree or completely. So
Okay.
I think if he was in a building or it was like on a street with buildings all around and cars parked and stuff, he'd have something to work with. And of course, inside the building, like the warehouse we were in, I think, again, he would have a lot more chances to deflect arrows and get them coming from above, from below, from left and right. But out in the open, you just shoot the harmless gazelle that's hanging around.
Okay.
So
Anything else, Barry?
Let's see. I think I'm out, man.
You think you're out?
Yeah, I can't think of
Okay.
anything else to do.
Do you have a decision
Well,
or a question?
no, I don't have a question. At night, Barry's made many good suggestions or allocations of how Hawkeye would beat Captain America. But again, I think that even with the arrows, Captain America's speed and stuff will be an advantage. And just because Captain America taught Hawkeye, it doesn't mean that he taught him everything.
True. True. So are you waiting for me to make the decision?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm going with Captain America this
Go
time.
with Captain America.
He's got 1 point.
Did you hear that, MC? 1 point to Captain
1
America.
point for Captain Shield.
Don't give me a pity point.
It's not that. It's how you have to think it through. I was thinking about a couple scenarios about how Clint works, how he gets around things, how he evens the playing field. He went pretty much hand to hand with Black Panther in the movie, if you remember.
Well, he's an
for
expert
about 10
tactician.
seconds.
He's an expert tactician too.
Yeah.
He's really smart.
So I mean, he can get it done. It's just that I think when we have, like I said, when I was talking about the two of you as archers, he hasn't quite evolved beyond where he's been. He's always that guy that is crazy, but he can never take down anyone without help of Captain
So you're
America's
saying
ability.
I am the weakest superhero of the four.
Well, in this case,
Absolutely.
strength.
With his
His
I'm
strength
looking
is
at
his-
the bars. I mean, he gets beat in every single category.
Right.
So the closest one is intelligence.
But again, even if you do connect with an arrow or two, I've seen Captain
be
America
lucky.
get shot several times and still have enough to pull through. If you told me you could somehow interrupt the arena that he's in, his footing, or his ability to get to you to engage, I would agree to that. But the way you've given into, I'm going to shoot, and keep running, sooner or later that shield's going to upset you.
Well, when he said he wasn't going to throw the shield, because I was going to say that I was going to try to get the shield when he threw it, use an arrow to like take it or knock it down or something. But he said he wasn't going to throw the shield, and I doubt I could just rip it out of his hand with an arrow.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping that he didn't say that, but he did.
All right. So holds on to the shield. I didn't hear that either. Good
Yeah, he
observation.
didn't throw. Because if he threw the shield, that gives me a
Yeah.
better chance.
Out in the open, those
100%.
arrows are a lot
that.
faster than the shield.
100%, yeah.
And I only have one. I can't rapid fire shields like he could with arrows.
Sure,
So,
if he
and it's
throws
my
a
main
shield.
defense.
If he throws the shield, I think I could
Yeah.
get him 100%.
So just shield in front and just rush.
Smart thinking, man.
All right. He held on to the shield.
That's
Captain
the X
America
factor right
wins.
there.
There
That
it
was a
is.
smart play.
That was good.
Sorry.
All right.
So Captain America has 2 now.
Yes.
Okay.
Green Arrow has 2.
2. Batman has 2.
Goose egg, baby.
Okay.
It's okay.
So
Okay.
Green Arrow versus Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Batman wins. You guys are up now.
So what setting are we?
Yes,
is Green
give me a
Arrow
setting.
and
Hold on,
Batman
let me-
going
let
up
me pull
against?
the thing up. Hold on.
Because no, I mean, it's very interesting because if you
You pick
put
this
it up on Superhero DB, that's what we're looking at.
Which I just
Setting?
found about.
I got a setting for you guys.
Okay.
Please.
Dusk, junkyard.
Dusk at a junkyard. Okay.
Excellent.
right.
Dusk.
So
So
junkyard, I'm thinking like, the busted cars
Mhm,
and everything. And yeah.
I can see that. All right. So I want
You
Bob to go first. I want Bob to go first. Find out. You've already talked about Batman. What he has the gadgets. He has his little safety belt.
Slightly.
His little fanny
all
pack
I
that he wears around everywhere.
Mhm.
Tell us how you would beat Green Arrow.
Not close.
I mean, okay, yeah, okay. Let's go over this. Okay,
Hold on. What am I talking?
Okay,
You
yes,
just said
you're
you
right.
were giving me the floor,
No,
and
no.
then you took it back.
I'm getting stuff from Hawkeye, who is 0 points over there. So I want to talk. Go ahead, Bob. Talk.
Oh, now it's back. I'm sorry. I
I
was going to take a
apologize.
sip. Well, the junkyard, again, thank you for not putting us in an open field. Again, I want to try to play this out as real as possible. I think Green Arrow, in several occasions, even in some of the series, he wants to be Batman. And I'm sorry, he's not Batman. I like Oliver Queen a lot. I follow him closely. In fact, he was one of my favorite characters on Justice League Unlimited. Excellent role. So that's all the props I'll give you. But in this case, again, they're both very intelligent. I told you speed kills, and I believe that. And Oliver is faster because I think he's smaller. I don't know the dynamics, but Batman's a big boy, and he's strong. So in this case, I think we have to close the battlefield. Batman's fast enough to catch an arrow because his armor can withstand bullets. So even if you do shoot me with an arrow, you're going to have to hit me specifically in an area that would penetrate the armor. Not happening. It's dusk. I have in my cowl the ability to see at whatever time of day it is. Green Arrow does not. He wears some fancy sunglasses, but that's about the best he can do. You're going to run out of arrows. And if that's the case, and if we both ran out of those things, Batman's intelligence takes over. He makes do of what's there. Hand to hand, not even close. I think Batman will take it easy on you at first, ask you to give up, and then incapacitate you quickly. Years of experience ahead of Oliver in many categories. So again, thank you to the setting. The time, again, plays into his abilities. So I think Green Arrow gives somewhat of a fight, not as much as Captain America would, because the durability isn't much. So even if I had to beat Captain America, I could beat you after that without taking a break. But just saying, it is what it is.
There was the kick when the man's down.
So that's that. So I'll go strength.
No. You won the fight against Hawkeye.
So hand to
Who
hand.
hasn't? Okay. Who hasn't?
Hand to hand, it's Batman. Intelligence, they have to deal with whatever. I mean, if anyone's out there, you agree with me. I realize it because when we look at these polls, it simply says, if we're going to have this 60 times, there's 7 uneducated people out there who voted for Green Arrow. So I'm just saying that, they obviously must be watching the CW way too often. But that's it. That's where I'm going to stand. I don't have to talk much about this because I think the world has my back on this one. But Green Arrow, you do have the opportunity to at least speak.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I hadn't killed you. You're just down. You can say final words.
In all this, Batman has come off, and I think he's a little cocky. Would you say that
Almost indestructible.
that he feels
I
like
am Batman.
That's the X factor. That slice of humble pie
Batman
right
is
there.
cocky, and you could almost say a bully, to the point of, so.
Is he trying to
one
get
of
the
the things-
sympathy of the fans? or
No,
what?
no sympathy.
Okay, please.
No sympathy. I'm telling it for real what it is. We're both billionaires. We both have the smarts to get to the point of having our gear that is impenetrable.
Mhm.
Okay. Our intelligence. You went on and on about your battle with Captain America. How my intelligence would just beat you every time.
Mhm.
And I think that on this thing, the combat you say is not close. I think it's closer than any other person. I think hand to hand, it would be quite a good match. And I believe with all the arrows, the trick arrows that you have, and I know Batman knows Green Arrow pretty well. And I have to say, Batman has done more, has looked in and created a dossier of all his people. Yeah, I used a big
Woo!
word. I brought
That's
out
a
the big
25-cent word, people.
That's worth
dossier. Don't ask me to spell it.
So how will we beat him in this scenario?
In this scenario,
I was just trying to help him out.
Coerce him on.
he doesn't want me to say. He doesn't.
No, I'm all ears.
What was the scenario again?
Junkyard dust.
Junkyard dust. Okay. Again, Green Arrow has the ability. Is that what you want to play like that? Okay.
He's trying to distract you.
I think
You got him on the ropes, Corey.
whatever Batman would throw at Oliver Queen could throw right back at Batman. Okay. The batarangs, the gadgets of pulling things down around the junkyard, Green Arrow has the same amount. They would both go head to head. Now, if it was me, if I was Green Arrow going against Batman, okay, we would both be laying traps for each other. That's for sure. Like Bob said, he would be trying to close us into one little section of the junkyard. I would pretty much, he said, Bob also said about Batman, you're going to lay on Captain America's shoulder?
I feel he's got my back. Yeah.
Okay. That his armor is impenetrable unless he hits a spot that is a soft weak.
Right, under his arms, possibly.
Under his arms, I think he would ricochet arrow right through and cut those Achilles heels right out from under him.
Okay.
Make it to the point where Batman can think all he wants, but he has to slide to be able to do it. And Oliver Queen, even though he would may not be able to beat Batman, he would die beating Batman. He would go to the point of death.
He would sacrifice himself to take out
Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Oliver Queen is, because he is he always thinks of the little guy, and Batman's he's too cocky, too much of a bully. So if it was a duel against us both, we would both die. But I believe we would die on Oliver Queen's terms. So what do you guys think?
Or you guys, Bob, do you retort?
Like I said, X factor is Oliver Queen. Yeah, will put up somewhat of a fight, but I don't see it through to where he takes at any point gains the advantage. I don't see it.
It's just slightly faster. That would be. You would have to find a way to use the slightly.
Yeah, but you got us in a
Speed
closed
doesn't
area,
manage.
so I don't know how speed would. You're not going from one open space to another.
That's
Have you
right.
been to a junkyard before?
Mhm.
You know that they're not an enclosed area. I mean, it is a big area.
Yeah, but it's also there's a lot of defense to arrows. You're not going to shoot me through a car windshield. I just think I'm going to have more protection. He's is going to engage. And again, I said it about Captain America. One thing Batman has is the element of surprise. And I just think Green Arrow is going to think he's here. He's not. Once we have that togetherness,
The stealth is practically almost the same between Batman and Green Arrow. With stealth, they both. I mean, Batman trained with the League of Assassins,
Mhm.
but
and who did Green Arrow train with?
the best martial artists in the world.
But he's not a ninja. Batman has the skills of a ninja.
Of a ninja. Okay.
All right. So that's my final word. Stealth again is plays out. So who wants to go first? Judges?
Do you want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
I'll just go. I think that in a different scenario, you might be able to pull it off, but I think Batman got it this time. But I do like the speed thing has me a little on the fence because he's faster.
Mhm.
So he may be able to catch you with something, even though you're smarter and stronger,
Sure.
a lot stronger. And the combat is really close.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a really close fight, depending on the scenario. But I think in this particular space, I guess Batman would take it. But it would be close because of the speed thing. I didn't know he was quicker than.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's
He's
smaller.
younger. I think he's younger.
Yeah, he's younger.
I think he's younger.
So
I just barely give it to you though.
well, I'm
Does that not
squeaking
matter?
him out today.
Yeah.
One for Batman there, MC. Dan, what do you think?
Trust me, I want
Out
you
of
to
principle, I should just give it to Green Arrow.
Woo!
But
Ow!
I have to
lose. We
again
both
give it.
want you to lose.
I noticed.
But I have to keep this impartial.
Please.
Now
Focus on the characters.
there was one thing that you didn't say that if you had with this particular setting, I probably would have given you the edge. In the junkyard, it's enclosed and it's open at the same time. There's no ceiling. So where Batman does have better stealth, Oliver Queen does have some. And if he would have stealthed and gotten the high ground up on one of the junk piles in a pile of cars and got the drop on Batman first, I think he could have easily gotten an arrow through the defenses and gotten Batman by surprise and gotten the edge. But without that high ground and element of surprise, like the perfect scenario that once Batman knew where Green Arrow was, or if he got the surprise first, or any of those situations, I think the Green Arrow would not hold out quite as well, especially if it came down to hand. It wouldn't be an all-out slaughter.
Oh,
But no offense.
I guess I won the next round.
But
Give me a place with high ground.
yeah. But it's all about the scenario. But I think that, like I said, if Oliver Queen would have set himself up in that right way, he would have gotten the drop on him more often than not. But that's one specific scenario. The overall arc, I think you got the edge on Green Arrow, but Batman got the edge.
Got it, sir?
So that's 4 for Batman, 2 for Green Arrow, 2 for Captain America, and we don't like to talk about Hawkeye.
No.
He's the redheaded
But we're going to
stepchild.
have to because we have Hawkeye versus. No, we'll give you another minute. We'll go Captain America to Green Arrow.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So Captain America, Green Arrow.
Okay.
Pick the location.
You say warehouse. We're no longer friends.
Yeah, let's.
Well, I don't think it would be as
A
dramatic
small
as.
bedroom. No, just kidding. Let's see.
PJ, please.
No, I just meant in a small enclosed space. That's what I meant.
You've been cut off. No.
Context. Let's see. We're having me fun yet. How about we do?
We did the zoo. That was actually pretty creative.
Thank you.
How about an open field, but the field has hills and a cave
Hills and
and
cave.
caves
We're getting
and burrows.
creative.
Like there's places
There's
you
a
can go around in.
Okay.
Oh, come on,
So
Captain
it's not
America and a foxhole.
So it's open field, but it has the
But
ability to
it's
hide.
not just like a flat, like a.
Is it like
corn crop.
Fortnite, like with trees?
Yeah, we'll go with that. It's got
Okay.
stuff around.
All right,
Okay.
that's
So
all
it's
right.
not just one big open flowers
exactly.
covered
There's, like,
field.
Hills, valleys. There's big trees. There's shrubbery you can hide in.
And what about
Corn
the
crops over here.
time of day?
It's raining and it's
Yeah, you
nighttime.
pick that.
Raining and it's nighttime.
Raining and
You can be
nighttime.
anywhere.
Nice.
All right, raining, nighttime, open field. All right,
Can I go first?
absolutely.
Okay.
Valleys.
Captain America is scared of my arrows. Plain and simple. Okay? He's going to run at me with his large shield.
Remember how Batman had the humble pie? Well, Green Arrow's taking the scraps, the crumbs off the ground
And
now.
I'm just telling him like it is, keeping it like it is. So he isn't going to want he's going to just charge at me. And because of the I'm going to go the Batman route, the intelligence factor, Oliver Queen's going to lay a trap for Steve Rogers. We have these hills and valleys, and okay, let's see. Captain America, he's going to block with his shield. He's going to run full speed, which he's very fast. He's much faster than I am. But I think, I believe in this scenario, Oliver Queen is going to lay traps and put Captain America, making him think that he's coming up right on him, because Green Arrow could be at a different angle, shooting arrows that makes Captain America think he's going in the right direction, and then putting them right in the back, right behind him. So I believe that that Green Arrow would be setting traps up like crazy for Captain America, and he wouldn't be able to take care of it. Again, I would just shoot the Achilles heels right out from you. That's one of the
He's
things.
got something against the Achilles heel.
Hey, I mean, what? Now Batman does have armor.
Why does he keep coming back to Batman?
Hey, Batman has armor. Captain America has a suit. It's just rubber boots. People, they're just slip-on boots. That's all they are. Slice right through them. And with the rain, I would have to say that it is in my favor as well, because it's going to make it a lot harder for Steve Rogers, who's going to be a big old brute trying to chase me with his little shield. I think that in this scenario, Oliver Queen is going to take you down. Now it's not going to be easy, but you can't throw your shield. You're not going to. You know that. I mean, you can smile all you want. I know you're not going to throw your shield.
Nope.
Bubble boy. And so it's just not going to happen. Maybe, to be honest, you may be worried about the rain, so you might be just carrying that shield above your head so it doesn't get you too wet. So that's what I've done. That's what I've laid. How would you fix that?
How would you see it through, Dan?
How would you see it through if I'm doing all this to you?
So Captain America was born, raised, and first became Captain America, not modern days, World War II. So rainy battlefields and trenches and foxholes and open fields with trees and hills. That's his early 20s. So a scenario like this, one guy, where granted it is Green Arrow, not just some random German soldier, he's quite a bit more formidable. But Captain America in this scenario, would not charge full speed, because the rain with the mud's gonna bog him down a little bit, slow him slightly. The rain, it'll be a little easier for Oliver Queen to maneuver around, especially if he's near some rocks or decent sized rocks he can hide behind, or a couple of random trees, kind of get up in there. He would do more of the patient waiting game, wait for the right moment. He's got the heightened senses, so even though it's raining, he can still hear. If you decide you want to try and sneak up and get a little bit closer, better vantage point. If he needs to bunker down and just have a solid defense for an extended period of time, between his training in battlefield scenarios like that one and with the infamous bubble, he could bunker down for the long haul until he waits for that one golden moment. That's all he needs, because once it gets more of a close range fight, it's game over, because Captain America has Oliver Queen on all of those kind of stats: speed, agility, defense, offense, etc. Combat training. So, and he has the super soldier serum, the X factor, and he could last longer just waiting, wide awake, senses fully in tuned, listening, waiting for that opportunity. Where Oliver Queen, very trained, he doesn't have the extensive training like, say, Evan does with as the ninja or whatever the case is. He doesn't have that level, and he doesn't have that X factor of the super soldier serum. So he's going to do what you're doing right now, which is
fall asleep
after a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as Captain America sees that point too, boom, there's another golden opportunity. And then all it takes is just one moment, and Captain America will just foxhole it and wait.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who has the better vision of the two characters? Because you said it was nighttime and raining.
Yes.
Who can see better?
And this is just what I've read, what I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong
Go
on
ahead.
this one. If it's just straight eyesight, Steve Rogers is better. But Oliver Queen does have a couple of mild gadgets that do assist on that regard. So I think he might have the edge by a little bit because he has that assist. But again, if it's battery powered or whatever the case, it may not last the whole time if he just has it on constantly.
Mhm.
But if I'm wrong, that I don't know.
So I would agree with you. Green Arrow would be falling asleep because he set so many proximity arrows around him. He wouldn't care what
But Steve
Captain
Rogers
America
is
would-
not moving to get near them.
Why would Green Arrow be moving either? Now let me tell you about Green Arrow. He's a hunter.
Story time.
Yeah. He has the ability of years of hunting, training, patience, and survival. It's even been done that he's proficient enough in hunting to pursue a cougar without it even noticing him. Okay, so with the scenario of it being rainy, dark, I don't care how, what the old man says with his eyesight, he can see. Green Arrow does wear a mask, and that mask does have abilities. He can see through that rain. He can get you. So whatever you want to say, and you know what? His arrows have cameras in them. Even if you break the arrow, so he's just shooting an arrow at you and just seeing, where is he? He's probably up on a tree, popping up, putting his screen. Steve Rogers just laying there. Me too. Cool. That's cool. So you want to wait out patiently. Green Arrow can wait just as long. He can be ready, and if you need to, if he starts moving, Green Arrow will take you down later.
If I was Captain Smokey the Bear, I'd give you the match. But one, I hang out with Hawkeye. I'm used to trick arrows. I know how to counteract trick arrows. So cameras and arrows and mines and explosions, I've already got training on that. You don't have training with somebody with super soldier serum. Mines, proximity mine, land mines, whatever. Again, training on that as well. You do have a little bit better vision, but my vision would be well enough that you could only get so far towards me before I could see you just as clearly. You just maybe could see me a little clearly from a distance. But then again, that's all you can do from there is fire arrows, which if I'm bunkered down, that advantage is moot.
I just want to say I'm sorry for how boring this fight is because we're both waiting it out because
It's true.
I'm not
Yeah.
getting close to Captain America, and Captain America, because of his durability of sleeping for how many
And
years?
that is why I would win, because patience.
Sounds like a draw.
It would be patience.
So, I mean, you can use
be-
this fight. I mean, on combat, yeah. If we got close together, I would do my best with my quiver and bows, but you would kick my butt. But I don't believe Green Arrow would let you come close enough to him. He's already kicked Hawkeye's butt. He already saw how
Don't bring me
Batman
into
kicked
this.
your butt,
And
and
if-
so he's taking cues from Batman of maybe he's shooting the arrow one way so that you protect, and then he gets you from behind.
See, but if you fell asleep because you were so bored, all I have to do at that point is casually throw my shield, and I don't have to hit you in the Achilles heel. I can hit you anywhere with that shield, and you drop because you will not have the armor one there to absorb the impact. You have to hit me in a very specific spot and contend with the shield. You don't have a shield. You don't have anything. If that shield comes at you and you're not on your A game and not paying attention, and that hits you just in the, you lose an arm. Your bow and arrow skills, that's gone.
Come on, Superman tore my arm off, and he still used his teeth to pull that quiver
Yeah.
back and shoot the arrows. So you
And he-
cannot
and
say
he-
that he will keep on
And
going.
he was going to be on the same playing field as if he had the arm. He could
Abs-
fire just as accurate and just as fast, and pull out, the arrows and be able to fire them just as quick as if he had both arms working at full capacity. He could still fire, but not on the same level. At that point, what little edge you might have on that long distance, you'd still have against an average person, but not Captain America. Whatever, that edge would be gone.
So you're
Okay.
saying Captain America would
think
take
we've
the
heard
first
enough.
step?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Neither one of you engaged yet.
No.
You're both staying away from one another.
If they don't engage, it's a draw.
Right. You have to prove to me, how are you going to engage? I told you in both cases how I engaged with my previous. So how do you engage? Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Go ahead.
Two different scenarios.
Okay.
One, either wait it out until I notice he falls, because the rain's not going to last forever. So it may be a while, but once I notice he's drifting off, falling asleep,
Now you're in the Amazon jungle right now.
I'm in the Amazon, so it's just going to rain.
It's going to keep on
So-
raining.
It's always rain.
Yeah.
So you have to tell us, how are you going to engage in the rain at night to make this happen?
So it would just be a matter of bunkering down until I think I noticed, to the best of my ability, depending on where he's at, that he's fallen asleep or drifting, and use that element of surprise, depending on the scenario, either slowly charging him or most likely throwing the shield, or wait until he gets impatient enough and he gets close enough to me, at which point that distance game is removed, and then I can go after him, get in close, and then it turns into a hand-to-hand fight.
Okay.
And then, go, standard brawl kind of deal. So depending on which happens first.
So either engage because he's fallen asleep, or engage because he's gotten impatient.
Yeah.
Or how do you engage him?
How do I engage him? I shoot arrows around him.
Around
I shoot
him.
explosive arrows. So I have to make him move.
Okay.
He can't just stay there waiting it out, wondering if I'm not going to see him. I see him. I know where he's at. I know the general area. I'm going to shoot arrows. I could shoot 2 explosive arrows at the same time. So no matter what, I would be putting him where I want him to be.
Okay.
Now, if he's waiting it out, I have the shield over top of him so that he can't get hit by an arrow. That's fine. But he is still going to be moving. If there's explosions around him, he's going to get up and move.
Not necessarily. The shield can absorb a lot of that. Plus, the moment you fire your first arrow, even if you had a good spot and I had no idea where you were at, once you fire 1 or 2 arrows, I'd have if not exact location, I'd have a good idea as to where you were at.
So you use the arrows to put him in a position. Now, how do you engage him? You got him where you want him. What do you do to engage him?
Knock him out with a tear gas arrow.
Okay.
And then I go up. I use the blade that is in my quiver to just take him out piece by piece.
Would
Because I
this,
am still.
would this be with through the proximity grenades that you put everywhere, so that you get up close and avoid all the mines that you put?
I put them there,
Okay.
not you. I put them. there
And you have
proximity
super
mines.
memory in the rain. You know exactly where they all landed and remembered every location, despite it being dark and rainy. And you are intelligent, but not superhuman intelligence.
Yeah.
What is the chances you forgot one, or you're all a little off where you thought it was? Step down.
Okay. So, have you heard enough?
I think so.
Okay.
I think since it's raining and he has better vision, I like the whole try to flush him into a trap thing. I think that is a good plan. I don't know. I feel like I give him the edge in the fight just because of the setting and how he displayed it, but also like his idea too. But they're more passive.
Of waiting it out.
They're kind of passive.
Okay.
You know, I would say I give it to Corey in this instance.
Thank you very much.
Mainly because of the vision thing. That's what I was focusing on. And I like the whole traps everywhere idea. That's all I got.
Captain America can bleed. Just let
Did you get that, MC? One for Green Arrow. Okay.
All right.
So I was looking for some quality in reference to how you two are going to engage. And in both cases, it's a little weak. Because if you were to know Hawkeye, you would know what he was trying to do as far as pigeonholing you.
Green Arrow.
But he knows Hawkeye.
Oh, I thought you meant they were
As in
fighting.
comparing him
Okay,
to
okay.
Well, I
Green
did
Arrow.
say he knows all of his tricks with the arrows and stuff. So
So I was trying to look for Austin's ability. Now he threw in the tear gas. Totally shocked me there that he finally thought of the tear gas. So that never dawned on me however, how effective is tear gas in rain?
not really. It'll sink it down.
dissipate. Yeah, I think that's so. That shot doesn't work in this scenario. Green Arrow is a better hunter. Captain America is the better open field tactician. If they close the gap, Green Arrow doesn't stand a chance. Waiting it out doesn't give either one of you an advantage. That's why I needed some engagement.
They're supposed to draw. It really is.
But I look at what I have for comparison status. You know, you have an intelligence that actually goes to Green Arrow. So in this case, intelligence again plays a high role for me. Strength, I thought it would be more, but it's not. So I'm not sure what happened here.
Yeah, that was confusing me in this because it seems like the super soldier serum is not in play with that particular stat.
Yeah, which I'm going to rule out for you in that case,
I think
Captain
he's
America.
definitely way stronger.
But
right?
speed, Captain America is much faster than Green Arrow. So durability, if he does get hit with an arrow, Captain America will just bounce back. Power, not even a suggestion. So here's how I see it play out. Captain America rushes it, no matter what Green Arrow fires at him. I think he overcomes it. Gets Green Arrow in a position he can't handle, and he takes it. Because he is fast. I mean, he's faster than we give him credit for. But if you see how fast he is, he can move quickly.
To your left.
Right. That's right. On your left is what it was.
On your left?
Get it right. If you're going to quote Captain America, get it right.
Try not to focus
So-
on the movies.
I'm giving Captain America the point here because Green Arrow didn't give me enough substance for engagement. Again, because of the rain, the one point I thought he made got zeroed out because of the environment. So 1-1. So I hope does that sound right?
So
This is
so if the rain was gone, everything else was the same. I probably would have gotten the point from you, and I would have lost the point from you.
Right. Yes.
So
Yeah, because that tear gas was a good point.
Yeah, I just like the
Until I
slight
heard
vision
that.
advantage.
Yeah,
Plus, you didn't say you would rush him either.
right.
only if he got closer, but no, not if he's at the distance. So
But then he could run into a trap if he rushes him too.
True.
If he's running fast, I mean,
I was just
and I've laid traps for him. I mean,
But he does have the instinct and he's not a dumb man. So he could see
True.
what he's trying to set up. Going back to my point about Hawkeye, He knows what he's trying to. Once he figures out, okay, this is exactly what Hawkeye would do in this scenario.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
do
if you
something.
have
different.
range and you're in an open space, the guy with range has the advantage
Right.
almost every time.
See, and I just thought of something. If I got on top of a hill and there was proximity mines, I could almost like flatten up and slide down the hill in the shield using the slickness. If I hit one of those mines,
It's not gonna make a difference.
yeah, the shield will absorb the blast, maybe even get me airborne, at which point, for a moment, I have the high ground, can just
And
land right on
remember,
top of it.
even with that case, Captain America has been hit by Tony Stark on several occasions, which would be the same as one of these mines. So
Yeah.
he would get up and he would be
It
fine.
would take several of them before I really do
Right.
some heavy damage.
All right, so I have 3 for Green Arrow, 3 for Captain America.
Just
Still working on it. 4 for Batman. Our last and final round, if you're still with us,
it's another goose egg from me.
is Hawkeye
Versus Batman.
and Batman.
Well, you've had a whole lot of different
I have.
between yourself and all of us.
So if we're
maybe
just
some
going
ideas.
off of pure stats, I lose every category.
You do.
But
But
that's
hold
one
on.
scenario.
Yeah, scenario. So let's see. Who picked the last scenario between the two of you?
I did. It was the junkyard at dusk. So
Got it.
So me.
You're up.
Okay, then we're gonna go with the open field again.
Open field,
Open
similar
field.
to his.
Open field area.
What kind of weather?
I'm
would-
gonna let that for Dan, but the open field area, and there are no trees around. I mean, this is a pretty. We're talking Kansas
It's
here.
just flat.
It's flat.
and it's high noon.
It's just.
So it's sunny and
It is sunny. It is crystal clear
It must
sky.
be hot to be in all black right now.
So we'll say
Right.
we'll say it's 82 degrees, 30% humidity, not a cloud in the sky,
High noon.
you want me to start or you start?
Well,
and the highest vegetation is this tall.
I think off channel we talked about me calling in whatever I wanted to call in. Was that right?
That's the one thing I was just remembering. It's like, why didn't I just call in my aeroplane?
And
And
see,
drop-
that's where I'm at.
Drop him
See,
out.
we talked about
I could
this.
have brought in the helicarrier.
Yeah.
So we're in open field. So set me up, Hawkman. Where am I going to drop the ball?
Okay, so what I would do is I would try to. So for an open field, you haven't called in your little.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
it's in
not
the area.
yet, not yet.
You got a couple minutes before it shows up.
I would pepper around you with explosive arrows to make
Okay.
like a divot in the ground.
I've never seen
around
that
you.
before.
Is
Okay,
that
yeah.
not a thing?
Yeah.
You could do that.
No, I said I'm just being funny that Batman's never saw this tactic, but please keep going.
Okay, and
He's
you wouldn't be
bringing
fast
it.
enough to get out of the way of this giant crater that I've made, which would then give me a slight aerial advantage, and then I would use. So your suit, what can penetrate your suit? Can anything penetrate Batman's suit? That's what I don't know.
Hang on 1 second. I'll read it for you. Batman's bat suit aids in his combat against enemies, having the properties of both Kevlar and
No max.
Nomex. It protects him from gunfire and other significant impacts. His gloves typically feature 3 scallops that protrude from long gauntlet-like cuffs although in his earliest appearances he wore short plain gloves without scallops, but now he has those. So to your point is an arrow is not going to penetrate it.
What about a vibranium arrow?
Possibly, because it's like, what's going to penetrate the immovable
But you might
force.
dodge it.
Right.
So I would try to put you in a compromising position with
Sure. Batman would allow that, I'm sure.
the
Go ahead.
ground being, you would be either in this divot that I've
Mhm.
made with explosives that could
Okay.
be 20, 30 feet, 40 feet deep. We'll go 30 feet.
How many arrows have you used up
I've
just
used-
creating this?
How many do I have? I used 4 explosive arrows. So I'm out of explosive arrows. Does he have a freeze arrow, like anything like that? I should look
Freeze
up all the
arrow?
tools.
Yeah, I've only seen a Green Arrow use it, but that's not saying he doesn't. But please continue.
I would obviously keep my distance
Of course.
and not do the hand-to-hand combat. And
Okay.
if you were to call in some sort of airdrop, I would shoot it with more explosive arrows.
So
My
apparently he
entire
brought.
kit is all explosive arrows.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
And I would shoot an arrow that would try to possibly mess with your vision.
Mm.
That would be the
Oh.
last thing I did.
Okay.
But I don't know if his suit, whatever, can protect from like a flashbang kind of thing. That would be the last thing I tried. And if it did work, and I could tell that you were slightly incapacitated, then I would go in and,
Absolutely.
as Corey said, I would cut your Achilles heels. That's all I got at the moment. Because
Okay.
there's no trees or anything, right? It's just like canvas.
Yeah, no, it
Just-
is open as
Open
they
field.
So you're in a divot. You're in a dusty divot of dirt.
Okay. Did you know Batman was faster than Hawkeye?
I didn't know that. Actually, I did. It says
Yeah.
it right here.
Yeah.
By 5 points.
Yeah.
But I have distance. That'd be hard to close the distance still in an open field, I think.
It would be hard. I would have to call on some things to get me in closer. In this case, they're saying open field. Now, how long would it take, the Batwing to get there? It's hard to say.
I have my bike too.
You have your bike, but I have nothing. How do you get his bike and I don't have anything?
No, I don't know.
Because I have a motorcycle as well. You've heard of it?
The Hawkeye has a motorcycle.
Yeah,
Right?
we both have motorcycles. You've seen the
I know,
motorcycle.
Batcycle.
I know Batman stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if there's something technology, you realize I have my own satellite. Did I tell you that?
Let me hear how you're going to defeat me real
So
quick.
right now, I'm going to look on my watch if I happen to have it with me, but I don't think so. I think I'm just going to look through my eye, through my cowl, which is going to identify through satellite where you are on the field, and then I'm simply
Well,
just
that's a
going to.
little unfair.
Well, I'm just saying, I have my own satellite,
You got a built-in Garmin in your
and
headpiece.
there you are, sitting in the middle of wherever, on a tree, possibly, because you want to get the high ground. So I call it in. So what I do is, in an effort to wait, because this is such an enthralling battle, I just build a protective wall for myself. I use my technology to bunker down in whatever area large enough to protect myself, wait for it, watch you on whatever technology I have, and simply just shoot you.
You all been watching way too much Fortnite.
Yes.
I mean, seriously.
So, but if I'm peppering you with whatever arrows I have left,
Which are going to penetrate me how?
well, at least it wouldn't let you call your air shot down because you'd be trying to avoid and dodge all the stuff while I'm doing that.
But he set up a bunker.
Yeah, you can't get through this. This is almost.
He just used
Where'd
your
you get the
divot
bunker
and
from?
set up a bunker.
Is it
In
made
your-
out of dirt?
No, I'm sure even in this
Dirt
case,
rocks.
you mean you have a utility belt and the ability to, put up whatever I need to.
Okay.
I mean, because you're only firing arrows. I mean, you're still just an archer.
This is true.
So you have the distance. I get it. I'm not going to, even though I am faster, stronger, more durable, more smarter, can beat you in combat. And then I mentioned I was, more durable. All of
That's
those
true.
factors aside, I'm just going to call in something because you won't come close enough for me. So because they put me in an open field, I've got to go outside the box and got to call in,
Okay.
call it in, just got to call it in.
I have no reply.
If
So-
he calls in a airstrike on you, how would you defend yourself from that?
I mean, it would be like a missile coming down.
Yeah, it would be several
I
missiles.
mean,
Yeah, some were
you
rockets. We're not going to say
I
a
could shoot a
missile.
plane flying over maybe and maybe with my precision hit the pilot.
No pilot.
No,
Remember,
I-
Batman just calls
That's
it
right.
misses.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
not of explosive.
If it makes you feel any better, it took a nuclear warhead to take you out.
That's true.
so, but again, I only do that because I realize you're not going to engage. Now, I could wait you out like Captain America and simply wait till you run out of arrows.
What if, as I was shooting arrows at you, I was
Yes.
moving in at full speed and you didn't see me coming?
Broad daylight, an open field.
In a purple outfit. Yeah, I'm not going to see you.
That is,
All right, I
Yeah.
have nothing else.
Okay, I think on the next round, we're going to, truth told here, we drew names to pick characters. So don't think I came up with Batman first. Remove that. We picked them as they came about. Just saying.
And Dan went first.
I went first.
And
I
he
took
picked Captain America.
Captain
right.
America.
I didn't get to choose
Austin
mine.
went second.
I didn't get
I
to
went
choose
second.
mine.
I went third, but I will say Barry got the scraps. And in this case, you guys could probably end this quickly, right?
Yeah, Batman's just going to call it
Yeah,
in.
there's only one scenario that I could think that Hawkeye would get the edge over Batman.
What is it?
Barry did not say that. So
Batman
No,
was,
he didn't. So Batman gets the point.
Yeah, okay.
Would be especially with the incoming strikes.
Let's see
You would
who
have to-
reply to this stuff.
He would, when I say overwhelm, he'd have to fire like say 4 arrows at once, couple flashbang, couple concussion, then immediately several more explosions. I mean, literally just absolutely demolish Batman with not penetrating arrows, but different sensory overload.
I said that. I said
but-
pepper him with everything.
But literally at the same time, you can't not 1, 2, 3 like get like
Oh,
the
okay,
multi
I see
shot
what you're saying.
hit him, because Batman has armors and other gadgets that he could protect himself from individual arrows, but just you have to overwhelm him with groups of them at the same time. Literally use everything you have in the first 10, 15 seconds. Overwhelm him. He's in the open, so you have a chance, and then you could get the take him out right away, because once he gets moving, once you're down part of because you're firing one at a time or his airdrops come in, there's no contest.
Yes.
So that'd be the only way. But in an open area like that at daylight, you'd have a small chance.
So final score, Logan, starting from the bottom and working your way out. Hawkeye had how many?
0. Right here, guys.
0. Who's next?
It was a good effort, though. I
Is
gotta.
there a tie?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Tie between Captain America and Green Arrow.
That's good.
Nice.
And then, need I say?
6 points.
Yeah.
6 points. We had
Three.
3 each.
Now, a question for you.
Yes.
Since you won every battle, can you think of a way that you would have lost the battles that you won?
Setting for him. That's what it would have taken. And if he'd have used tear gas, possibly in the scenario with me, and got the high ground, like he mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
just that slight like change. Like, one, I've got to like figure out how to breathe under tear gas. So I got to get out of that scenario, which means
Does
I gotta
Hawkeye
move.
have tear gas too, or no?
probably.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty standard.
yeah, it's a standard,
But in an
especially
open
for a
field,
spy.
though, I mean, it would
That
just
doesn't work.
dissipate,
Yeah, it would be
No.
minimal.
But to your point, you're the only character on paper that I don't see
Yeah. It's,
having a chance.
okay. I just wanted to reaffirm that.
And it's because of the low combat skills that a lot of the comic folks give. And I'm not an expert by any means. These are fan voted, so these aren't necessarily legit. But like you said, you could bench how many pounds?
It's like 310 or something.
And Batman can bench press 1,100.
No.
So if they engage, I'll break you. Period. So, but Captain America, is
Way
probably up
stronger.
there as well.
Yeah.
And if you looked at the fan votes, the Green Arrow Captain America, he had like 84% of the fan votes. Captain America did, but in
Right.
all things, because of the scenario,
Yeah, I
I
enjoyed
didn't
the
get both.
scenarios.
I didn't get both points. I only got one.
Zoo and the Junkyard, excellent selections. The open field, kind of boring because then I had to
Well,
call in.
I wanted to try and give him a fighting
Yeah.
chance.
The warehouse, excellent choice. Warehouse is an excellent choice.
I did say it would burst into the street. Though.
And the rain, the rain played the role, or I thought Green Arrow would have won had it not been for the rain.
Yeah.
But some good characters I've thought across the board. So we'll pick some new ones the next time. Tell us what you thought about the video. I guess we'll look back as well.
Yeah.
Big thanks to Austin, Green Arrow, Dan Rogers, Captain America, Barry Chrysanthus, Hawkeye, and I am Batman. We'll see you guys later. And stream there, big guy. See ya.